writers, welcome to the Writing Lab with Eva Pohler. Hi, I'm Eva Pohler, a USA Today best-selling author of over 45 novels, a writing professor for over 3 decades, and an editor. And today I'm going to talk about something that's crucial to every sentence, verbs. Not just any verbs. We're going to focus on action verbs and why they drive your story forward, and how linking verbs, although useful, can often stall your prose when overused. First, let me describe the difference between action verbs and linking verbs by defining linking verbs. Linking verbs are words like am, is, are, was, were, seems, looks, feels, remains, and their job is to link things. They link the subject with either an adjective like Jane is smart, or they link the subject with another noun like Jane is the president. And while linking verbs are useful, if overused, your prose, there's nothing happening in it. And so we want your sentences to have subjects that are doing things. And that's why we prefer action verbs over linking. In the case that I just gave you, where Jane is smart, Jane is the president, and this is often true where linking verbs are concerned, you can combine them and make them into an appositive and then couple them with an action verb. For example, Jane, our smart president, enacted a new rule. Enacted is so much more oomph in that word than is, right? So we can get rid of is by simply saying Jane, our smart president, enacted a new rule. Or Jane, our smart president, fired the new team. Or whatever, right? We bring in that action verb to add oomph and momentum to our sentences. In fact, action verbs are so important that I often draft my sentences around my action verbs. I think of my action verbs first. I think, what's going to be happening in this sentence? And I construct the sentence around it. Let me give you an example of something, though, that we don't want to use in terms of action verbs. We don't want to choose generic action verbs. Take, for example, walked. She walked slowly across the room. When you use a generic action verb like walk or look, you end up having to add an adverb in there to help carry the emotional load, right? So instead of saying she walked slowly across the room, pick a more precise action verb, such as she crept across the room, or she waddled across the room, or perhaps she strolled across the room. Each one of those verbs, crept, waddled, strolled, are precise enough that you don't have to lean on an adverb to help you. Now, I'm not saying adverbs are evil. We want adverbs, but we don't want to use them when we're too lazy to find the precise verb, okay? We don't want to overuse our adverbs. Here's another example. Instead of saying he ran quickly, you can say he dashed. She said loudly, she shouted. They looked angrily, they glared. Almost always, if you go and look for your adverbs when you're doing a revision, you can change that action verb adverb combination into a more precise action verb. Not always. Sometimes we want to use an adverb like when we said, she said gleefully. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? And also I want to be clear that not only are adverbs not evil, linking verbs aren't either, okay? We use them because they're useful. We just don't want to overuse them. And we want to, if we can, pack our sentences with punch by replacing them with action verbs in these ways. You can look to combine sentences by using appositives, as I did in the example with Jane, our smart president, fired the team. You can replace weak verbs and adverbs with strong, precise verbs, as we did with he, instead of he ran quickly, he dashed. And you want to make sure that your characters are doing things and not just being things in your sentences. So here's a sentence for you to try on your own. The man was angry and spoke loudly. How would you revise that sentence to make it more punchy with action verbs? Let me say it again. The man was angry and spoke loudly. Well, how about this? The angry man barked his reply, right? Or the man seething with rage barked his reply, or barked his response, or barked his order. You can see how bark is a great action verb to use. Some final thoughts. Verbs matter. Action verbs move your story forward and give your prose momentum. And precise verbs add flavor and depth. So the more intentional you are with your verbs, the more vivid your writing will be. So next time you sit down to revise, ask yourself, is something actually happening in this sentence, or is it just sitting there? So that's it for today on verbs. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. If so, please give it a like, and please do subscribe to my channel. And don't forget, if you haven't already grabbed it, to get my free Science of Story guide. The link will be in the descriptions below. That's it. I hope you have a great day, and until next time, happy writing. Bye-bye.